These names all have something in common. At one point, they dominated YouTube. They were everywhere, massive views, loyal audiences, unstoppable momentum. And then, almost overnight, everything collapsed. But even among YouTube downfalls, few were as dramatic as the implosion of Nas Daily. At his peak, Nas was pulling in millions of views per upload without even trying. Today, despite sitting on more than 13 million subscribers, many of his videos struggle to crack 100,000 views. It's easy to forget now, but there was a time when Nas was impossible to avoid. Scroll Facebook, scroll YouTube, open Instagram. Eventually, you'd see that same massive grin, the black t-shirt, and a 1-minute breakdown of some obscure but fascinating topic from somewhere in the world. And people loved it.
Found a man who is a human calculator.
Hi, I'm Scott Flansburgh, and I'm faster than any calculator on the planet Earth.
He can add numbers faster than he can talk, and he never graduated from high school. How did he learn?
One comment under an older video read, "Thank you, Nas, for these inspiring videos. You bring light and goodness into people's hearts." Another said, "They wish the channel would reach every single person on Earth." That was the vibe back then. Fast forward to today and the atmosphere couldn't be more different. Open almost any recent upload and you'll see brutal like to dislike ratios. The admiration has morphed into resentment. The praise has turned into open hostility. One Twitter user once wrote, "Is it weird that I hate Nas Daily more than anyone else on Earth? He just makes videos, but when I see his face, I feel like I'm going to have a stroke." And disturbingly, the replies were filled with people agreeing, "So what happened?" How does someone go from being globally celebrated to widely disliked? How does a creator with over 13 million subscribers struggle to maintain relevance? The answer isn't one single scandal, it's a pattern, a combination of ego, tone-deaf decisions, and repeated accusations of exploiting culture and people for content. But to understand how it all unraveled, we need to rewind. Whose real name is Nuseir Yassin, was born into an Arab-Muslim Palestinian family living in Ofra, Israel. At first glance, that detail might not seem important, but later, his identity and political positioning would become central to his controversies. At 19 years old, he earned admission to Harvard University, where he studied aerospace engineering. And it was during that time that he uploaded his very first YouTube video in November 2012. He and his Harvard friends attached a hamburger to a weather balloon and launched it 30,000 meters into the sky. The result? Over 500,000 views in less than 3 weeks. For a random engineering experiment, that's absurd. But instead of immediately committing to YouTube, Nas disappeared for years. The viral success showed him something important though. There was an audience out there, a massive one. 4 years later, he returned, but this time with a clear plan. He launched a daily 1-minute video series on Facebook. Every single day, he would upload a tightly edited, energetic explainer showcasing something interesting from around the world. Cultures, traditions, people, technology, social issues, all condensed into 60 seconds. He did this for 1,000 consecutive days, no breaks. By January 2019, he had completed the streak and built a Facebook following of over 12 million people. The consistency, the pace, the branding, it worked. Then he pivoted to YouTube. Instead of short daily clips, he began releasing longer, higher production weekly videos.
20 million people. 20 million people visit one city every year. And that city is not London, New York, or Mumbai. That city is a small dot on the map called...
The editing improved, the storytelling expanded, the reach exploded. Some of these uploads hit millions of views almost instantly. He wasn't just a viral creator anymore, he was becoming mainstream. At his peak, Nas Daily felt like a global movement, but behind the polished edits and motivational tone, cracks were forming. Unlike creators who implode overnight due to one catastrophic mistake, Nas's fall was slower and more layered. A series of miscalculations and controversies gradually chipped away at his credibility. One of the earliest major turning points came in July 2021. Nas uploaded a video titled "World's Oldest Tattoo Artist," a 103-year-old traditional tattoo artist from the Philippines.
In the jungles of the Philippines, there is a woman who is 103 years old. She is the oldest tattoo artist in the world, and she doesn't use a tattoo machine, and she doesn't let you choose your own tattoo.
She practiced ancient hand-tapping techniques using thorns rather than modern tattoo machines. The video itself followed the standard Nas formula: fast cuts, inspirational music, cultural appreciation, nothing obviously controversial on the surface. But then people read the description. It revealed that Nas and his team had convinced Wang Od to launch a course on his online education platform, Nas Academy. The idea was simple. She would teach traditional tattooing to a global audience. He would host and monetize the course. At first glance, it sounded mutually beneficial. More exposure for her, more content for him. Students get direct access to a cultural master. Win-win, except it wasn't. On August 4th, 2021, someone claiming to be Wang Od's relative posted a public warning on Facebook. The accusation was explosive. They alleged that Wang Od had not properly consented to the course and that Nas Academy was exploiting her name and image without full understanding or approval. The post labeled the academy a scam, and that's when everything started shifting. The wholesome global storyteller narrative began colliding with accusations of exploitation. Suddenly, viewers weren't just seeing cultural appreciation. They were questioning whether Nas was commercializing vulnerable individuals and sacred traditions for profit. And this was only the beginning. My grandmother did not sign any contract with Nas Daily to create any academy. Some people are taking advantage of our culture. Please help us stop this disrespect to the legacy of Apo Wang Od and the But tribe. That statement exploded across Facebook. In response, Nas released a video showing Wang Od placing her thumbprint on a contract. Alongside it, he shared a lengthy statement explaining his side. He claimed his team approached Wang Od out of admiration. According to him, they loved her traditions and wanted to preserve and share the ancient Kalinga tattoo art with future generations. The idea, he said, was pitched not only to Wang Od, but to her family as well. Everyone supposedly agreed. Nas also emphasized that her niece, Estella Pelagio, was present during the process and translated the contract before Wang Od pressed her thumbprint onto the document. He framed this as undeniable proof that full consent had been given. On paper, that should have settled it. But then came the line that made everything worse. Nas added that 40% of Nas Academy's team was Filipino, and that the Philippines was deeply personal to them. The implication was clear. Why would they exploit a culture they are connected to? That explanation backfired instantly. Many viewers compared it to the classic "I can't be prejudiced, I have friends from that group" defense. Instead of calming critics, it intensified the backlash. It felt like he was using representation statistics as a shield rather than addressing the core concern, whether a 103-year-old woman fully understood what she was signing. Then the situation escalated again. Gracia, the relative who originally raised the alarm, posted another update. She claimed she had spoken directly with Wang Od and that the elderly tattoo artist did not fully understand what the translators were explaining to her. According to this account, Wang Od was unaware of the true scope of the online academy. Gracia acknowledged that money had been offered and that profit sharing was discussed, but insisted that the project did not have proper, informed consent. That directly contradicted Nas's version of events. Facing mounting criticism, Nas sent members of his team to the Philippines to resolve misunderstandings and reach an agreement with Wang Od's family. To his credit, he did take action rather than ignoring the issue. Why did it take public outrage for this to be addressed properly? If Gracia hadn't spoken up, would the course have continued selling without controversy? That doubt lingered. And before the smoke from that controversy could clear, another accusation surfaced, again from the Philippines. A Filipino farmer named Louise Mabulo stepped forward with her own story. Louise founded the Cacao Project, a non-profit initiative aimed at combating deforestation by empowering local farmers. According to her, Nas had expressed interest in featuring her project in one of his videos. But when he visited, she claimed his attitude shifted. Louise alleged that he made dismissive comments about poverty, questioning why Filipino farmers were so poor. She also claimed he ultimately chose not to release the video because the story wasn't entertaining enough for his platform. In her account, he prioritized viral potential over meaningful impact. The post went viral. Social media erupted again. People accused Nas of being tone-deaf at best, racist at worst. Comments flooded in calling him dishonest, exploitative, and disconnected from the very communities he claimed to celebrate. Nas responded with a video denying the allegations. In a surprising twist, he went further by suggesting that Louise's Cacao Project itself wasn't as authentic as it appeared.
On paper, it was supposed to be a non-profit that helps farmers. In reality, it's a for-profit that exploits farmers.
That only deepened the divide. While the controversy eventually faded from trending topics, the damage to his image was permanent. For many, the wholesome global storyteller persona had been replaced with that of a privileged outsider, monetizing other people's struggles. And then came crypto. In November 2021, Nas uploaded a video titled "The Most Generous Bitcoin Billionaire." The subject was Sam Bankman-Fried, founder of the FTX crypto exchange. The video portrayed him as a visionary philanthropist, emphasizing his wealth and supposed generosity.
Guy you see next to me is the most generous billionaire in the world, and I found him.
Hi, my name is Sam, and this is my story.
Sam has crazy hair. Sam is vegan. Sam sleeps 5 hours a night. Sam lives in the Bahamas with 10 roommates. Sam is 29 years old only, but Sam has $22 billion. And he wants to donate all of it to charity.
The tone was overwhelmingly positive. It read less like journalism and more like a polished brand endorsement. Months later, in May 2022, Nas released another video, this time titled "The Most Humble Crypto Billionaire." The focus shifted to Changpeng Zhao, the founder of Binance. Once again, the praise was relentless. Both videos felt like image-building campaigns for powerful crypto executives. Yet nowhere in the videos or descriptions was there a clear disclosure indicating paid sponsorship.
Is the richest guy in the world from crypto, and you don't even know him.
Hi, my name is CZ.
He made over $60 billion, but his mom still called him stupid. Let me tell you his incredible story.
Later developments would make those videos age terribly. When FTX collapsed and Sam Bankman-Fried became one of the most infamous figures in crypto history, viewers began revisiting Nas's glowing portrayal. The optics were brutal. It appeared as though he had helped humanize and promote individuals who were later accused of massive financial misconduct. Whether those videos were paid promotions or not, many people believed they were.
Sometimes we get a brand deal in which I have to go on the spot for one full day and make a video about a person.
So sometimes the characters that are in your video are actually paid sponsorships.
Sometimes, yes.
Do you say that?
We do not say that because, well, one, in the post, it's when we say thank you to XYZ, blah, blah, for making this possible. Two, it's like, we don't live in America.
The lack of transparency only fueled suspicion. By this point, a pattern was forming in the eyes of his critics. Cultural exploitation accusations, dismissive remarks about poverty, questionable endorsements of controversial billionaires. Individually, each controversy might have been survivable. Together, they painted a picture. And for a creator whose brand was built on positivity, cultural respect, and one-minute inspiration, that picture was devastating. And the worst part is that Nas didn't just forget to disclose. He openly admitted that he chose not to. In April of 2022, Nas appeared on a podcast hosted by a YouTuber known as Silicon Valley Girl. During the conversation, he casually revealed that some of his crypto videos were in fact sponsored, something that had never been clearly disclosed to his audience. The second he realized what he had just said, you could practically see the panic set in. He immediately tried to backtrack and justify it. His reasoning, "We don't live in America," which might have sounded clever in his head, but completely falls apart under even the smallest amount of scrutiny. YouTube is an American company. The platform operates under US regulations. That means creators monetizing content through it are expected to follow American disclosure laws, including properly labeling paid promotions. So the excuse wasn't just weak, it was factually wrong. And once viewers realized he had hidden sponsorships for crypto billionaires, it changed everything. Because now people started questioning all of his videos. Was he actually passionate about the subjects he covered? Or was he just reading off praise because someone paid him to? How many other inspirational stories were actually undisclosed advertisements? That one podcast clip cracked open a door that couldn't be closed again. And then reality delivered the final blow. Both of the crypto visionaries he painted as humble, generous geniuses turned out to be at the center of massive scandals. Sam Bankman-Fried became one of the most notorious financial fraudsters in recent history. Billions of dollars vanished. Investors were devastated. He was sentenced to decades in prison. So in simple terms, Nas had produced glowing promotional style content about one of the biggest crypto scammers in modern history. Whether he knowingly participated in image laundering or not, the optics were catastrophic. It looked like he had taken money from individuals who later turned out to be running massive fraudulent schemes and helped make them look like philanthropists. For most YouTubers, that would have been enough to permanently damage their careers. But Nas wasn't finished. In July 2024, he uploaded a video titled, "I studied Islam for 1 month and I lost all my hair." And the title alone set off alarms.
For the first time in my life, I shaved my head completely just to make a point.
Okay, this was a bit random, but why would you shave your head to make a point? And especially if you say this to a Muslim's thinking, we shave our heads after pilgrimage because this was an act of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and this is something that we replicate. And you should also know the importance of intention, that the intention has to be correct for it to be accepted by God, not doing it to make a point.
The "lost my hair" part referred to the Islamic tradition of shaving one's head after completing pilgrimage in Mecca, a sacred and deeply spiritual act. Framing it as losing hair came across as dismissive and tone-deaf. The video itself didn't improve the situation. Many viewers accused him of spreading misinformation and oversimplifying a religion practiced by more than 2 billion people worldwide. Studying something for 1 month and then presenting yourself as knowledgeable enough to summarize it for millions didn't sit well with a lot of people.
My solution is simple. Bring people together, not apart. This is why we make these videos. This is why we support the many Israelis who want peace and the Palestinians who need peace.
The comment section quickly filled with corrections, criticism, and outright anger. Some pointed out factual inaccuracies. Others accused him of trivializing sacred practices for engagement. One comment summed up the general frustration perfectly. 1 month is not enough to understand an entire religion. You are treating something deeply sacred like content. Islamic creators even responded with full breakdown videos, explaining the errors and challenging his framing. But somehow that controversy still wasn't the peak, because when it came to the Israel-Palestine conflict, things escalated on an entirely different level. Nas was born in Israel to a Palestinian family. Naturally, as tensions intensified globally, viewers wanted to know his stance. Instead of staying silent, he decided to address it head-on with a video titled, "My Israel and Palestine Explained." In the video, he attempted to position himself as neutral, someone above politics, someone who simply wanted peace. But the response was overwhelmingly critical. Many viewers felt he was oversimplifying a deeply complex and painful geopolitical conflict into a digestible YouTube explainer. Others accused him of monetizing tragedy. Some argued that presenting neutrality in certain situations can feel like avoiding moral clarity rather than promoting peace. One viewer from Vietnam left a powerful comment explaining how their country fought against colonization from multiple foreign powers. The comment emphasized that peace isn't always achieved by simply wishing for it. Sometimes resistance is necessary. That message resonated widely. And then things got even more complicated. In October 2023, Nas tweeted that he was Israeli first, Palestinian second. Many interpreted this as him taking Israel's side, but at the same time, older footage resurfaced of him criticizing Israel in private conversations when he thought he wasn't being recorded. That contradiction became a defining moment, publicly neutral, privately critical, strategically ambiguous. And that's where the core issue lies. The problem wasn't that he had opinions, the problem was that his messaging didn't feel consistent. It felt calculated, it felt like positioning, like every statement was optimized for audience reaction, rather than rooted in conviction. By this point, the pattern was impossible to ignore. Crypto billionaires presented as saints, cultural figures commercialized without clear transparency, religious topics condensed into click-friendly summaries, political conflicts simplified into monetizable narratives. Individually, each controversy might have been survivable. Together, they formed a clear picture, an inflated ego combined with an inability to accept criticism. That ego showed up again when journalist Avi Yamini confronted him about inconsistencies between his public messaging and private behavior.
Nas, how you doing, mate?
Good, man. How are you? How are you?
Tell us.
Nice to meet you, everybody.
Do you think it's cool that you're standing here and you're being employed, like you're getting paid by the World Economic Forum to promote their product?
I'll tell you what's cool. This is the video. How are you guys? Give me. You know what's really cool is that all this was done for no money.
You did it for free.
For free, my
so
friend.
You're willing to sell yourself for free.
I'm selling myself for free because I have opinions, and I agree with those opinions.
You push the climate change agenda. You push a lot of these agendas, these woke agendas. But here, what's
my friend? We've done more for climate change than you have.
Here, what have you done?
We've done.
How did you get here?
We've done more for climate change than you have.
Instead of calmly engaging with the questions, Nas reacted defensively. He interrupted, he deflected, he eventually walked away. And once an audience believes you're dishonest, rebuilding trust becomes nearly impossible. Today, the numbers reflect that shift. A creator with over 13 million subscribers now struggling to consistently break 100,000 views. Tweets barely reaching meaningful engagement. A brand that once felt global and unstoppable now fighting to stay relevant. A comeback isn't impossible, but it would require something we haven't really seen from him. Genuine accountability, transparent sponsorship practices, less self-righteous certainty, more humility.
I'll be honest, when I first got to Davos, he confused me by interrupting my interview with the Luxembourg Prime Minister and then running away.
Sorry, is he annoying you? Is he annoying you?
No, it's still okay.
Okay, because
This is Nas Daily. He's a great, listen, Nas Daily.
This guy's annoying. Be careful of this guy. He's annoying.
I was a lawyer before. If you need some help.
Wait. What law? What law? Nas might need criminal help. Nas, come here. 2 questions.
I'm good.
Wait.
Bro, I know you're.
Hold on.
Instead, he continues producing similar content as if nothing fundamentally changed. And that's the tragic part, because Nas Daily once had one of the most powerful platforms on the internet. He was genuinely inspiring to millions, but over time, the trust eroded, not because of one catastrophic mistake, but because of a repeated pattern of questionable decisions. And when your brand is built on positivity and authenticity, losing credibility hits harder than any algorithm change ever could. So what do you think? Was Nas unfairly criticized, or did his own ego slowly dismantle everything he built? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.